The gaming world has always been a place where the bizarre and the extraordinary collide. But what happens when reality itself seems to blur with the virtual? March 2025 has delivered some of the most mind-bending, jaw-dropping, and downright weirdest stories to date, from characters who shouldn't exist, to game features that make you question everything you thought you knew about this medium. These stories will leave you questioning what's real and what's not. Picture this. You're sitting there, controller in hand, fully immersed in a game. But suddenly, something happens. Something so strange, so out of place, that for a moment you can't decide if it's a glitch or a glimpse into an alternate universe. That's what March has brought us. It's a month where the unexpected reigns, and the boundaries of reality are pushed to their breaking point. And trust me, by the time we get to number 1, you'll be wondering if this is all some twisted dream, or if gaming itself has just taken a wild turn into the unknown. But the question remains. Can we ever go back to normal? Are we witnessing the evolution of gaming or the unraveling of everything we thought was stable? These stories don't just entertain, they challenge us, they haunt us. They provoke a deeper curiosity about the very nature of entertainment and reality. So, are you ready to dive into the weirdest, most mind-bending gaming tales of March 2025? Hold on to your controllers, because this ride is about to get strange. You won't believe what's waiting at the end of this list. The RPG with thighs that tell a story, in the world of a Tier Yumiya, the Alchemist Memories. A seemingly minor character detail has ignited a whirlwind of conversation, her thick thighs. At first, it seems like just another quirky design choice, something that might pass under the radar. But when you dig deeper, you'll realize this isn't just about fan service or a random artistic decision. In fact, this character's physical traits have deeper cultural implications tied directly to Japan's economic downturn. Junzo Hosoi, the game's producer, has gone on record explaining that during times of economic recession, there's a shift in cultural preferences, particularly in the depiction of characters. According to Hosoi, people in such times gravitate toward figures that embody voluptuous and motherly qualities, traits that, according to him, provide a sense of comfort and stability. This may sound absurd at first, but there's something oddly captivating about how this phenomenon is reflected in the design of the character. Her wide hips and fuller body are, in a way, a visual metaphor for the shifting tides of the economy, a symbol of reassurance when times are tough. This revelation brings up a lot of questions. Was it intentional for the game creators to tap into this cultural shift, using a character's body to reflect deeper societal concerns? Or is this merely an odd coincidence that's being read into far too deeply? Regardless of the answer, it's clear that the attention to detail here is anything but superficial. The way characters are designed can shape not only how we interact with them, but also how they make us feel. And in a time when comfort is hard to find, what better way to give players that sense of emotional security than by designing characters that mirror their cultural landscape? It's a strange yet fascinating intersection of art, culture, and psychology, one that makes you wonder how deeply the world around us impacts the very games we play. The secret level that led to a developer's invitation. Imagine playing a game that's already known for its challenging gameplay, and then, out of nowhere, the developers drop a level so difficult that only one player in the entire world manages to finish it. That's exactly what happened in Split Fiction. But here's the kicker. The reward for conquering this impossible challenge wasn't a flashy new weapon or an exclusive skin. Instead, the victor received something far more intriguing, an exclusive invitation to visit the developer's studio and preview their next big project. No teasers, no trailers, just an unannounced, absurdly difficult level designed to stir up curiosity and excitement. You might be asking yourself, why would they go down this road? The answer lies in the genius of Hazelight Studios. Rather than following the usual PR playbook with flashy trailers or countdowns, they decided to create buzz by offering players a challenge that required more than just time. It demanded skill, precision, and persistence. This unconventional move is both bold and brilliant. By making players earn their way into a sneak peek of future content, Hazelight tapped into something more primal, the desire to be an insider, to unlock a world that not everyone has access to. It's a marketing strategy that feels less like promotion and more like an exclusive club, where only the truly dedicated get to see what's next. This approach made split fiction even more desirable, sparking a conversation among fans. Should more developers ditch the traditional hype machine and opt for something more organic and exciting, like creating exclusive challenges to entice players? The thrill of the unknown has its own magnetic power, and this move proves that sometimes the best way to capture your audience's attention isn't by giving them more, it's by making them work for it. In a world of instant access and oversaturation, Hazelight Studios reminds us that sometimes the most effective way to spark curiosity is through mystery and challenge. Cristiano Ronaldo joins Fatal Fury, a punch to the face. Imagine waking up to the news that Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the world's most iconic football players, has just been added to Fatal Fury, a classic 2D fighter that hasn't had much action in years. Sounds like the plot of a bizarre dream, right? But it's not. Ronaldo, the man known for scoring goals and breaking records, is now throwing punches in a completely different arena. How did this even happen? Well, it's likely due to a promotional deal, but let's be real. This was something no one saw coming. Fans of Fatal Fury were left scratching their heads, trying to wrap their minds around this unexpected crossover. It's not that Ronaldo doesn't have the star power to make an impact in the gaming world, it's just that, well, Fatal Fury, a fighting game series that's been dormant for decades, it seems like the kind of pairing that could only happen in some weird alternate universe where athletes and fighters collide in unexpected ways. So, what's going on here? Is this just a random marketing stunt to grab attention? Or is this the beginning of a new trend where sports legends like Ronaldo start to step into the gaming world in ways we've never seen before? On the surface, it feels absurd. But then, again, sometimes the most outlandish ideas are the ones that spark the biggest conversations. What's next? Will we see LeBron James in a Street Fighter sequel, or maybe Serena Williams in a Tekken match? It's a bizarre possibility that could blur the lines between sports and gaming in ways we never imagined. Ronaldo in Fatal Fury might feel like the punch to the face that no one expected, but it's exactly that surprise factor that makes it so weird and fascinating. This is the kind of crossover that's almost too strange to ignore, and that's exactly why it's worth paying attention to. Sometimes the most unexpected moves are the ones that turn into the biggest stories in gaming. Big rigs. So bad, it's almost good. Big rigs, over-the-road racing. A game so infamous for its glitches, horrendous design, and laughable gameplay that it's become a legend in the gaming world. This title has been universally panned, for years, often cited as one of the worst games ever made. But here's the twist. Despite all of its flaws, someone saw Big Rigs not as a disaster, but as an opportunity. Enter Margaret Entertainment, a Chinese company that has acquired the rights to this classic and is now marketing it as part of their exceptional games collection. Yes, you heard that right. They want to present Big Rigs as something exceptional. Now, the big question, is this an attempt to redeem a broken, disastrous title? Or is Margaret simply capitalizing on the sheer absurdity of it all? After all, this game is a mess, a complete and utter disaster. The physics are laughable, the graphics are worse, and the gameplay is just about as enjoyable as watching paint dry. Yet, Big Rigs has developed a strange cult following. People have started appreciating it for its flaws, embracing the chaos and ridiculousness that make it unique. What was once considered a monumental failure is now a source of twisted entertainment and humor. The irony is thick. This game is bad, yet Big Rigs is thriving in a new, almost surreal way. It's as if the more broken it is, the more people want to talk about it. It's like watching a car crash that you can't look away from, but in the best possible way. So, could Big Rigs, the game no one could stand, actually become the unexpected hero of 2025? Could it be that the very things that made it infamous are the same things that now make it so appealing to a new generation of gamers? The more we talk about it, the weirder it gets. But one thing's for sure, Big Rigs may be the perfect example of how something so bad can, in a weird way, be good. Tencent's huge bet on Ubisoft's future. Tencent, the colossal Chinese conglomerate that seems to have its fingers in every pie, has just made a massive investment in Ubisoft, to the tune of $1.25 billion. And this isn't just a small stake, it's a significant move that gives Tencent a 10% share in Ubisoft, including a notable portion of major franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. On the surface, it might seem like a solid business decision, but there's something odd about the timing and the strategy behind it. Why pour so much money into a subsidiary when Ubisoft is already a giant in the gaming world? Ubisoft, despite its reputation and massive game library, has faced some challenges recently. Its stock has been under pressure, and some of its recent releases haven't exactly set the world on fire. So why now? Why invest so heavily in a company that, while iconic, is clearly struggling to maintain its dominance in a fast-evolving industry? The real question is, what's the bigger picture here? Is this a strategic play to reshape the future of Ubisoft's beloved franchises, or is Tencent just trying to grab a bigger piece of the gaming pie? The implications of this move are huge. Tencent is known for its calculated acquisitions, and this one could signal a major shift in the gaming landscape. With Tencent's influence, could we see some of Ubisoft's most famous games head in a new direction? Perhaps with a stronger push into China and other Asian markets? Or could this investment lead to greater consolidation within the industry, changing how games are developed and distributed? One thing's for sure, this is a story to keep an eye on. The stakes are high, and the future of these iconic franchises may be more intertwined with Tencent's strategy than we realize. In the world of gaming, where massive acquisitions and partnerships can shape the industry for years to come, this move could set the stage for a whole new era of gaming. And you can bet the rest of the industry is watching closely. Sakurai's bold message: stop Americanizing Japanese games. Masahiro Sakurai, the genius behind Super Smash Bros., recently dropped a bombshell that has sent shockwaves through the gaming world. In a rare moment of raw honesty, Sakurai boldly declared that Japanese games should stop trying to cater to Western sensibilities. His argument? Over-Americanizing Japanese titles dilutes their unique charm and creativity, making them feel less like true representations of Japanese culture and more like watered-down imitations. This isn't just a casual comment. It's a passionate plea for preserving the distinctiveness of Japanese games, especially as the global gaming market becomes increasingly homogenized. In a time when every blockbuster title seems to be adopting Western influences, whether it's in gameplay mechanics, storylines, or visual aesthetics, Sakurai's statement cuts through the noise like a sharp blade. He's calling for Japanese games to stay true to their roots, to keep the quirks, the charm, and the creative risks that make them stand out from the crowd. But the implications of this message go beyond just nostalgia or cultural preservation. Is this a defense of tradition? Or is it a signal of something much bigger? Sakurai's words may hint at a deeper fear within the gaming industry, that in trying to appeal to a broader audience, developers risk losing the very essence of what makes their games special. In his eyes, Japanese games aren't just products, they're cultural expressions that should remain authentic and not be molded to fit a Western ideal. The gaming world has been buzzing ever since Sakurai's comments, and whether you agree with him or not, his message is hard to ignore. In a globalized world where everything feels like it's being shaped to appeal to everyone, Sakurai reminds us that sometimes the best way to stand out is to embrace what makes you different. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what the gaming world needs right now. A return to authenticity, where creativity takes the front seat over mass market appeal. PS5 for $656 a week, but there's a catch. Imagine getting the latest PS5 for just $656 a week. Too good to be true, right? Well, in Japan, that's exactly what's happening. A rental service called GEO, think of it as Japan's version, of GameFly, is offering an absurdly low price for first-time renters. For less than the cost of a coffee, you can have a PS5 at your doorstep for an entire week. And if that wasn't enough, they'll even ship it to you for free, both ways. It's almost like a dream come true for gamers who want to experience the latest console without the hefty price tag. But here's where things get interesting. Is this truly a genius business move, or just a clever gimmick to get you hooked? GEO's strategy seems to be the ultimate loss leader, offering a deal that's hard to resist just to bring you into their ecosystem. Once they have you renting consoles, who's to say you won't start renting games too? The idea of renting an expensive console for next to nothing could easily turn casual renters into long-term customers. The bigger question, though, is why haven't we seen this kind of service catch on elsewhere, particularly in the US or Europe? With the high cost of gaming consoles, this could be a game changer for players who can't justify the full price tag. But as enticing as the offer is, there's a catch that everyone's thinking about. Will this service last? Could this be the beginning of a new wave of gaming rentals, or is it just another short-lived experiment that will fade into obscurity? One thing's for sure, it's a bizarrely good deal that has the potential to shake up how we view gaming rentals. If it proves successful, we might just see other companies following suit, offering even more accessible ways to experience the latest and greatest in gaming technology. For now, though, it's an intriguing experiment that will certainly be worth keeping an eye on. The Dying Light $386,000 edition that no one bought. Dying Light took the concept of special editions to a whole new level with a collector's package that was so over the top, it seemed like something straight out of a fever dream. For a jaw-dropping price of $386,000, the Ultimate Edition didn't just come with a few in-game perks or exclusive content. It included parkour lessons, night vision goggles, and even a custom-built zombie-proof shelter. Yes, you read that. Right, a zombie-proof shelter. This wasn't just a game edition. It was a full-on survivalist fantasy. But despite the lavish extras, Dying Light found itself with an embarrassing result. No one bought it. Not a single copy was sold. It's hard to wrap your head around the idea that a game could push such an extravagant edition, catering to the ultra-wealthy survivalist crowd. So, what went wrong? Was the concept simply too outlandish, too absurd, for even the most die-hard fans of the Dying Light franchise to swallow? Or did Techland completely misjudge the market for high-end gaming memorabilia? The lavish features were certainly unique, but perhaps the price tag was just too steep, especially when the average gamer isn't looking to invest $500,000 in a game. This bizarre failure has left many scratching their heads. The audacity of offering a zombie-proof shelter as part of a video game bundle was as ambitious as it was ridiculous. But in the end, it raises an interesting question. How far can a game go before its price becomes too much, even for collectors? Dying Light's special edition proved that there's a limit to how far you can push the boundaries of gaming memorabilia before it becomes inaccessible to the vast majority of fans. It's one of those rare stories in gaming that's equal. Parts baffling and amusing, an experiment in excess that ended in spectacular failure. Doom, The Dark Ages, a medieval slayer's playground. Doom fans have been eagerly anticipating the next chapter in the franchise, but what they didn't expect was a radical shift in the series' timeline. Doom, The Dark Ages doesn't follow the expected narrative, where the Doomslayer is merely waiting in a coffin for the events of the 2016 reboot to unfold. Instead, this new entry catapults the Slayer into an entirely different time period, medieval times. That's right, the Doomslayer, known for his futuristic, hell-bent slaughtering, is now fighting through hordes of medieval enemies. ID Software has confirmed that this isn't just another prequel, but a bold and unexpected move to explore the Slayer's journey through multiple historical periods. Imagine tearing through demons not just in futuristic sci-fi settings, but in ancient castles, medieval fortresses, and other iconic historical backdrops. This change not only redefines the Doom franchise, but opens up a whole new playground for mayhem and destruction, offering fresh and exciting ways for players to experience the chaos the Doomslayer is so famous for. This decision shakes up everything we thought we knew about Doom. What's next for the Slayer? Will he battle his way through the Renaissance, or take on enemies in a feudal Japan-inspired world? The possibilities are endless, and fans can't help but be excited by the prospect of new stories, characters, and settings. Will the Slayer adapt his hellish weaponry to fit these ancient battles? Or will he rely on medieval arms and brutal close combat techniques? The excitement and potential for creative storytelling are truly boundless. Doom, the Dark Ages, has already become a topic of fierce discussion among the gaming community as fans speculate about the direction the game could take. It's a risk, but one that has the potential to redefine the series and breathe new life into the iconic character. As we anticipate what's next for the Doomslayer, it's clear the future of Doom might be far more varied and unpredictable than we ever imagined. The PS2 Slim that never stopped. The PlayStation 2 has long been regarded as one of the most iconic consoles in gaming history, and for good reason. But now, in a bizarre twist of fate, a new, super slim version of the PS2 has appeared on AliExpress, looking like something from an alternate universe where Sony just kept refining and shrinking the console into a more compact form. And what's even stranger, this version is fully functional and still supports discs. Yes, discs. Even though we've long since moved into the era of digital downloads, here we are, holding on to something that feels like a time capsule. This isn't just a quirky collector's item. It's a nostalgia trip combined with a technological marvel. The fact that this slimmed-down version exists at all is an enigma. How does it work? How did someone manage to create a version of the PS2 that should have long since been retired from production? And more importantly, why does it exist in the first place? We may never know the full answer, but the truth is, it doesn't matter. Sometimes the strangest ideas are the ones that spark the most curiosity and excitement. It might not be entirely legal, and it may not make a lot of practical sense in today's gaming world, but there's something undeniably cool about the idea of having a PS2 Slim that keeps evolving. It's not just a throwback to the past, it's a reminder of how far gaming has come, yet how we still find ourselves drawn to the things that defined our gaming experiences. Whether you're a collector, a nostalgia junkie, or just someone who appreciates the strange wonders of the internet, this PS2 that never stopped is one of those weird pieces of gaming history that you can't help but be fascinated by. Is it functional for today's gaming standards? Probably not. But does it capture the magic of a simpler time when consoles were more than just machines? They were gateways to endless adventures? Absolutely. It's weird, it's fun, and it's a small piece of gaming history that's still finding its place in the modern world.